Okay, we'll go along to Cabo from the live broadcast on the Koikimedia network. This is where we discuss everything pertaining to self-determination and the issues within the Yoruba territory. Thank you, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo kẹ́yìn èèyàn wa pé àkópalẹ̀mọ́ ọdún abáwaláyé gbogbo àwa tí à ń celebrate ọdún náà Ọlọ́run ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ní àṣemọ́ a máa celebrate ọdún náà ní in the good time and also as a lot of things that I experience in our homeland. Ọlọ́run kó jọ, like we always pray, kó wà pẹ̀lú wa, kó dẹ̀ fi ìṣọ́ ẹ̀ àti ààbò ẹ̀ lé gbogbo ibi tó ń pè ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìkànnì wa, as we say all the time, it is a platform dedicated for self-determination láti polongo àti pé láti ṣàlàyé fáwọn èèyàn wa all the reasons in the world tí ìran Yorùbá ṣe láti dá dúró as an independent country that we believe it is the only solution. But as usual, àná ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn Yorùbá tí wọ́n disagree pẹ̀lú wa. So what are we going to be talking about this morning is just the same thing. Live from my kitchen, where we will review the hunger and the pain and the stress that we are facing in the current situation inside Yoruba land today. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé good morning and welcome to Koikimedia. As we say also, we are still pleading and asking for our people to support us financially so that we can also fulfill our obligation as an independent organization that is working around the clock láti promote the self-determination and also all the issues affecting our people, mostly in Yoruba land. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé many of us that are also promising, we pray that you'll be able to fulfill your promise as quickly as possible and as swiftly as possible so that we can be able to do everything possibly best láti fi ran àwọn èèyàn wa lọ́wọ́. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ máa ń béèrè pé what is the reason tí a ṣe ní ká dá dúró as an independent country? Pé kí ló dé tá a make effort to retain and keep Nigeria? It is too late to keep Nigeria, as we have said all the time. There is not much you can do to rescue Nigeria because the problems that Nigeria is facing today is too much. And the more problem Nigeria is facing, the more, don't come here, the more it is holding us backwards for the development of Yoruba land. Because Yoruba land that should have been developed is backwards. And the only reason why it is backwards is because of Nigeria. Tá a bá sí nínú Nigeria, Yoruba land will have developed in a very fast pace. Ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tí mo sọ, tá a bá sí nínú Nigeria, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kò bá ti wà develop gan. It will have developed to the standard at least, even if it's not Europe. Any standard tí animal struggle, tí gbogbo èèyàn fi ń complain nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lénìí. And complain, it still boils back to Nigeria. Because Nigeria ló jẹ́ ká máa complain. Because Nigeria is not in working and it can never work. So all we can do is to ask for the de-amalgamation of Nigeria. And we need to do that now, because the longer Taban Pesino Nigeria, the more pain a lot of us will experience, whether you are the diaspora or whether you are home base, it does not matter. But the longer Taban Pesino Nigeria, excuse me, Omani ripple affected, and those ripple effects are some of those things lately, whether today or in the last decades or in the last 64 years of the creation of independence, or the 110 years of the amalgamation. So regardless of whichever side you are looking at it from, Ali continue with the trajectory of one Nigeria anymore. That one Nigeria has failed you, it has failed me, and it is no longer workable. But the argument I'm concerning, it can still work. It can still work if we put all the things and the measures in place. Nigeria will work. But can you truly, Moki Baba Misun Odu, Eshigoni Mori, after the Mopari program Lano, Nimori commenting pẹ̀lú super chat. We're very grateful to have you all the time, and we appreciate and we love you on this platform, and every one of us as well, and mostly all our dedicated followers that believe in the cause of what we are saying on this platform. We are not here to disrespect or to bring anybody down, or to say that we are fighting the government. We are not fighting the federal government. And I think that is something that a lot of us need to understand. Nobody is fighting the federal government, but what we are saying is that we can no longer continue with the current state of things as it stands right now in Nigeria. Whether you are an educated Nigerian Yoruba, whether you are an educated Igbo, or educated Hausa, or the rest of the beautiful ethnic indigenous that we all live together. We are great people, as we are, but our greatness cannot prosper in a one Nigeria. We are loving people and we are caring people, but that is not going to work in a one Nigeria, regardless of wherever you say or however you feel about it. Because I know the argument of some of us. Oh, but Nigerian people are loving people. Yes, we are. But that love is not working in a one Nigeria. And that is something that everybody needs to understand. The one Nigeria is a failed project from the beginning. And those that created the one Nigeria knew what they were doing, and they were very smart around it. They knew that those people that you met when you came during the colonization, Eshegonisa, Mokibabami, Dennis Otto, and good morning to Mr. Tony for Fear that is watching us on IG. Many people will continue to argue and argue and argue that our problem in Nigeria is leadership, and until we get rid of that leadership, we will be able to live in one peace accord. No, you cannot live in a one peace accord with the current design of one Nigeria. There's no way you can. Let us go our separate ways and let us become neighbors so that we can still enter our different territory without a visa. Many British citizens travel to all the European countries without a visa, even after the UK left what we called even when UK left what we know as the EU, after Tokuro Nino EU, the United Kingdom citizen still have the privilege to travel into all the European countries without any restriction. And this is exactly what can happen in the fallout of Nigeria today. We can still travel to, you're right? We can still travel to the southeast known as the Biafra. We might not need a visa, but you would need Muki Obani Jesu Ekaro, Muki Engineer Mayowa Maxwell. Travel through the Biafra and then without a visa, there will be what they call a border control. We can still go into the northern part of Arewa. We can do our businesses, but it will be an independent country there. And their constitution can go in accordance to how they want it, while our own constitution and our own mode of government. Let's look at the tax reform that the current administration of President Bola Tinubu is trying to put together. It has a good intention. Let's just put it as an argument that the current tax situation in Nigeria is not favorable to many people. Good morning, Mr. Adeyemi Oluwole Boyega. If you say good morning to me, I might pick up your comment and I might also say good morning to you. But if you're one of those that just want to listen without trying to comment, it's also understandable. Because in Nigeria, many people are scared to comment because in the fear that somebody might come and somebody might attack them that knows them. So you wanna so a lot of people are scared. And Moki Mr. Adeleke Sodiki, Moki Ubainten she birthday Lenny, Atente she lano, Atenti etumashe ni ola. What we are saying on this platform might not feel comfortable with many of you in Nigeria and those of us that are Nigerians that are outside. Let's look at the tax reform. I don't have a better understanding around it. I will be telling you lies. But from what I have read, and from the argument is that the current tax reform in Nigeria is not favorable to everyone. It seems to be falling to one side. The broadcast is in English and Yoruba. Muki Mr. Stephen Adebola. Muki Homeland. I'm still having my little bit of breakfast. It's nothing much. All I've done is just what they call toasty. And I just put it in the toaster. Madam will drink in a little. Emma Bino is a breakfast. Tell you know, you might start thinking about business connect. But for the fact that we have land, arable land, that the United Kingdom doesn't have, this UK doesn't have land. I just got back from the store. Shopping. These are oranges, right? Oranges. Why do we have Muki Pastor Mo? Why do we have arable land in the north and we cannot produce enough food? Why do you have arable land in the southeast and we cannot produce enough food? Why do we have the middle belt, which we are called Benue? We call it the food basket of Nigeria. Yet Nigerians cannot have toasty in the morning with a good tropical juice that has been converted. This orange has now been used to convert from apple, pineapple, apple, banana, and others to make it look into these. And when we are here talking, and this is a box of eggs, okay? This is a box of eggs. It's cost about 11 pounds, almost 11 pounds. We try to buy in bulk or cheaper than buying tabati run out. La malora onimejila ele kokbewa. But when you want to buy in bulk, you go to the bigger store. I want many Nigerians to be able to have the same life that we are living abroad. Ṣé kò urgent mo wà lórí call mo wà lórí program?
Salam alaikum.
Mo wà lórí program. Alaikum salam.
Okay.
Ṣé kò urgent?
I want to move kini àwa ni tó bá.
All right. Ẹ ṣé gan-an. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mo jẹ́ yẹn lólùfẹ́ mi. Mo la wà ní bíbá. Oh my God. All right. Ẹ má bínú yẹn wa. Mo sì mi ló pè. Now, kò tí kò ń ṣe owó tó ń dá fún mi mo lọ fi ṣe shopping o. Torí gbà yẹn lẹ́lẹ̀ omi máa ní àbówó tó ń dá fún ẹ. Ìyàwó mi ṣiṣẹ́. Èmi náà dẹ̀ ní income, pacific income kéékèèké tó ṣe ń wọlé fún mi. Owó tẹ̀ ń dá àti kó pamọ́ torí mo fẹ́ fọwọ́ kàn. So mo dúpẹ́ lẹ́yìn tẹ́ ti ń pè Koiki, ìjọba ilé mi máa lè fún ẹ ní tèmi. Mo bẹ̀yìn bàbá mi Sunodu, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà, Canada, ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ as we go into 2025. Mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo náà la ní bùkátà tó wà níwájú wa, but I need the media kó lè ṣe bẹ́bẹ́, kó lè lọ tẹ̀síwájú ní 2025. Mo kí bàbá mi Karunwi, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Manchester. Bíìlì mi tí mo fi náwó láàárọ̀ yìí is £82.77. Ẹ bá mi convert ẹ̀ sí náírà. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ mọ owó ẹ sáré bá mi fi sínú comment section. Mo ń padà bọ̀ lórí tax reform yẹn, and the phone line is open. Tabarẹ́ni tó fẹ́ engage me is an interactive. A lè má pẹ́ púpọ̀ torí tíyàwó mi bá ti jí, wọ́n lè ní the kitchen. Àwọn ọmọ mi náà lè fi wọlé, and I'm sure you don't want to see their faces. Ẹ ti rójú tèmi, àtúní láti rójú àwọn Mòdùà. So wọ́n lè fi ní access sí kitchen, so kákọ̀ sáré ṣe pápápá. So tabarẹ́ni tó fẹ́ dá sí, tẹ́ bá ti ní studio number ẹ pè wọlé, especially tẹ́ bá mọ̀ nípa tax reform. Now, à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa kí ló ń fa ebi nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, kí ló ń fa ebi nílẹ̀ Haúsá, ta fi ń ráwọn àlèmájìrì tó pọ̀, kí ló ń fa ebi ní ilẹ̀ Ìgbò, kí ló ń fa ebi ní the whole 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mo sọ lánàá mo ní because àwọn kan ti deactivate pé kí Nàìjíríà kó má ṣiṣẹ́. Most of them are called the globalists. I have spent £82 today. Ààrẹ ní tó bá mi convert sí náírà. Ẹ má kọ̀ máa wò wá. Tá bá ń complain pé ẹ dá sí program. Ara ẹ̀ náà lélẹ̀. Ẹ bá wa dá sí. Torí pé tó bá yẹ pé church náà ni, tó bá ń gbàdúrà ẹ máa fi amen. Àwọn kan máa ń jó gbogbo comment náà ni máa ń rí lọ́dọ̀ Pastor Jerry àtàwọn bàbá wa, gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣe program àtọ̀dọ̀ bàbá ìbáṣẹ̀ parí Ṣílò. Gbogbo àwọn náà tó bá ń ṣe program èmi náà máa ń wà lábẹ́. Èmi náà máa ń lọ ṣe àdúrà lábẹ́. Àdúrà dáa. Ó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ àwọn olúwo náà ló ń ṣe tiwọn náà máa wà lábẹ́. Mo lè má comment, torí ti bá comment ẹ máa rí mi níbẹ̀. Èmi náà wà níbẹ̀. So kí ni mo fẹ́ fààyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé why is it difficult for the average Nigeria with all the wealth that we are told that we have? You cannot have equivalent of what I have spent this morning to go and do the same thing for your family. Why? It's because the resources in each of those geographical areas has been taken away from us, being controlled from outside Nigeria, using the puppet politicians to control it, and then making us, our Nigerians, the citizen of the federal, okay, because these were women that were traveling with thousands of dollars. Mama to be me, only £82 is going to give us 171,380 naira today. Can somebody also do shopping of the following? I am talking about the average Nigerian. I am not talking about the big boys. I am not talking about the big girls. I am not talking about those that are wealthy. I am talking about layman. I am not even classing myself as middle class, layman, because UK kò ní level bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Can any Nigerian assure me that this morning I also have with my pocket 171,000 to go and do the following shopping for my house? Kí làwọn kan tá rà? Mo ra Volvic water. Ẹja gbélé sílẹ̀ mú bọ̀. The Volvic water is what we call the bottled water. Some people drink tap water. It's okay. Inú ilé tiwa àwa kì í mú. Àwọn ọmọ tèmi dẹ̀ bí àti ìyàwó mi ní Volvic làwọn máa ń mu. Left to me, mo lè ra Turkish water, ó wà cheaper. But because they want Volvic water, it is costing me extra money. But I have wọ́n ní kí la ṣe wá sáyé láti tọ́jú family àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́. Kí ló wá dé tílẹ̀ Yorùbá ò lè tọ́jú àwa? Ìyẹn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Kí ni mo tún rà? Mo ra ọsàn. Mo ra lemon. All these can be grown in Nigeria, and all these are being imported into this country. This is coming from Spain. This lemon that I bought is coming from Spain. Kí ni mo tún rà? Mo ra ẹyin, mo ra ọsàn. The reason why I went there is mostly because of the water, because omi yẹn ti run out. Now, I bought water, mo ra fresh milk, and the fresh milk tara òun lélẹ̀. Ara kí ló ti ń yọ mílìkì? Ẹ bá mi kọ sínú comment section. Mo kí bàbá mi Idris Abimbola. Ara màálù ló ti ń yọ mílìkì. Now, ẹ ṣé gan bàbá mi Sunodu. Wọ́n ní the minimum wage is 70,000 naira. Koiki bá mi sáré ṣe lè síta. 171,000 will be equal to 2.5 months salary in a month. Ẹ ṣé gan bàbá mi Adéyẹmí. So we are not here to bring Nigerians down. We are just trying to tell you that if Koiki can live in the UK with 170,000 in his pocket, equivalent of 82 pounds, tó lọ ṣe shopping fún family ẹ̀ nínú ilé, kí ló dé tèmi náà lè jáde nísìn kí n lọ sínú store kí n dẹ̀ lọ fi 170,000 ṣe shopping kí n dẹ̀ wá sínú ilé kí n dẹ̀ jókòó ká tún máa wùjọ́ tí owó mi tún máa dé látara Pacific income tá n gain, látara Pacific income pé a wà nínú country. Ìtorí pé mi wà nínú country yìí, ìtorí pé mo gbé níbí báyìí. That is the reason why I am able, based on the economy of this country, ni mo ṣe lè make it 82 pounds. Ǹjẹ́ wọn náà lè make it 170,000? Bàbá mi Sunodu ní Koiki, that is 2 months and 2 salary in the Nigeria today. Mo sì ríyàn tó bẹ̀ mí pé Koiki jọ̀ọ́, àṣírí ò ní tú, ràn mí lọ́wọ́, mélòó là ń gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. But the question is, do Nigeria have enough income to support all its citizens? Ẹ bá mi fi sínú comment section. The current Nigeria as it was before and today. Because if 5 million euro was taken out of Nigeria cash and was intercepted in Benin Republic this time last week Saturday, níbo lowó yẹn lọ, ta ló bá, kí ló fẹ́ fi ṣe? So this is part of what I bought. Mẹ́ta ni mo rà. Ó sì di January 9 kó tó expire. Mo ti kó méjì sínú freezer, mo gbé ẹyọkan sínú fridge. Kí la fi mu? A fi mu cereal. Kí ló ń pè ní cereal? Ìyẹn là ń pè ní àgbàdo. Ǹjẹ́ a lè lo gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ká tẹ̀ fi kọ́kọ́ gbin àgbàdo? Yes. Kí ló wá dé tí a rí àgbàdo gbìn? Kí ló dé tí gómìnà wa ò sọ́pọ́tì ìtàn pè ní àgbẹ̀? Torí láyé àtijọ́ wọ́n ní àgbẹ̀ lọ́ba. Kí ló ń fa ebi tí a fi rí ìjì tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìlú Ìbàdàn? It's because àwọn tí wọ́n gbé Nàìjíríà dání sọ́wọ́ wọ́n consider mẹ̀kúnnù. So, mo ra red grapes, yẹn lélẹ̀ méjì ni mo rà. They are seedless grapes. Kò sí seed nínú ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo ibi tó ti gbé grapes yìí wá. This grape came all the way from Ireland. Tesco, Ireland. I don't know whether Ibeloti produced it, but it looks like it is coming from Dublin. Gbogbo population Dublin. Ibẹ̀ ni ìyá mi Grace Olúṣòótọ́ ń gbé, ibẹ̀ ni ìyá Esther Body ń gbé, àti many other dignitary Nigerians. But Dublin náà gbára wọn kúrò lọ́wọ́ UK in 1922. tó fi lè dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. Tó bá fẹ́ wá sí UK, visa Dublin yàtọ̀ síra, ó yàtọ̀ sí UK. It's two different countries. O lè fi visa wọlé sí UK kó lọ sí Wales, kó lọ sí Scotland, kó dẹ̀ travel within England, o lè lọ sí Ireland tó ń pè ní Dublin, kò visa mi ni. And this is why we are saying to our people, not here to attack or talk about the hill of Nigeria, but we are asking intimate questions. Don't that brain? Why is it very difficult to understand that Nigeria was designed not for me and you? Very good morning and welcome. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. The average Nigerian today, Mokiyami Modupe Adegunwa, wọ́n pariwo pé ebi ń pa wọ́n. Let's go back to the reform. President Tinubu sọ pé, look, the current tax reform in Nigeria is not working. It is biased. Moki Prince Adebayo Shitu, the current tax reform in Nigeria. Let us reform it. Let us think about how we can make sure that every state within the country have an equal share. Some say Tinubu has an agenda that is not going to favor them. Moki Oyeronke Olaniyan Ekabo sórí ìkànnì wa tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ mo fi ń dárúkọ gbogbo yín. Because wọ́n mọ̀ dájú pé ìjọ tí a bá ti ní ó wà straight tó line tó lúkálukú ní ẹ̀kọ́ tiẹ̀, you might not need people abroad to support you financially. But when we are in a system that is designed to pull our people down, that our people have to now beg on a daily basis, what do we do? Those of you that still support this one Nigeria, come and tell us, why are you supporting this one Nigeria? Because the one Nigeria, I saw Yaya Bello yesterday after being released from prison, being celebrated by even the current governor of Kogi State, Olodo. They were jubilating. So are we now saying that even if it is an allegation that Yaya Bello stole 80 billion naira, and he has now been given 500 million naira bail, Yaya Bello? Do you know that Assad, the current president, Tosakuro in Syria, only 280 kilograms of gold is worth $2 billion in cash. Russia. He has 17 luxurious apartments. Humanity is suffering. And the reason why humanity is suffering is because there is an agenda around the world to keep some people below the par so that people will control those people. It is not just in Nigeria, it is happening around the world. And if the Yorubas that we are talking to, especially the educated one, and thinking that they are just going to walk around Nigeria, as long as we are still walking around Nigeria, it is not going to be favorable for the future and the present. And this is where we are arguing all the time, talking, explaining that the Nigeria of today failed, not today, it failed about 40 years ago. So trying to rectify the problem, Moki Abiodun George, Kabo brother me, Mokile Somi, Juliana, Fashino, trying to rectify those damages, it will not happen in our lifetime. So if some of you that are saying that we will fix Nigeria, just also prepare that Konishele in our lifetime. You might also say that, but Koiki, how do you think that Yoruba land will be successful in our lifetime? The first thing is we will retain back our true identity that was stolen away from us by the British during the colonial era by telling us and deceiving us that since they met us there, amalgamate them and call them whatever you want to call them. Muki Mr. Sunday Michael. Olalekan address. Muki, good morning. Yoruba nation, the solution to the problem. Biafra, the nation. Arewa, the nation. Muki Lati Oman. Many of those countries are very small, but they are wealthy, but they need a lot of staff to come and work and support their agriculture. There are sectors that they know is for the layman. They don't want most of you to work in their financial sector. Oma difficult for any tokuro Nigeria koloshisheni Oman in their financial sector. But they need you to work on the farm, which we are also going to need when we have a Yoruba country. Because we will need people that can help us in a large number so that we can produce tons and tons of orange that can now be used for different purposes and other things like egg, poultry, and many such like that. So, what we are saying again, come off a programming. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí tax reform. Ta ló mọ̀ nípa tax reform yẹn? Kí ló dé tí àwọn northerners ṣe sọ pé àwọn ò fẹ́ kí Tinubu ṣe tax reform? Torí pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé gbogbo nǹkan fi ń jalè nínú Nàìjíríà Tinubu máa kọ́ tẹ̀. And one thing is, we are all fighting a demon that is not favorable to me and you. What is the demon? Nigeria. Nigeria is a demon. Could help with me. Could help with what? But argument táwọn kan sọ ni pé ẹ jẹ́ ká sì máa manage. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ Ọlọ́run pé k'Ọlọ́run rọ̀ aláàánú sí Nàìjíríà. Okay, ṣé Tinubu ni aláàánú wa? I'm asking a question. Is President Bola Tinubu our aláàánú t'Ọlọ́run rán sí wa? Ẹ bá fi sínú comment section. Mr. Samuel Shobowale ni yes, Nigeria cannot be fixed in our time. So those of you that are Nigerians, Abiodun George sọ pé tá a bá tẹ̀ gain anything after we have achieved Yoruba nation, we can gain back our true identity. Hey, ìyá mi ajé olókun gbogbo island kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ìyá ẹ̀. Àwọn wà lára àwọn tó organize àwọn rally kan nígbà tí rally lọ rẹpẹtẹ. Wọ́n ní Koiki mi dèmi fẹ́ gbé rally yẹn dúró. Ṣé fẹ́ bá mi dá sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ni mọ́mì? Ìyá dáadáa. Ṣé fẹ́ dá sórí program ni mà? Àkú ètò àná. Àtúntò wà lórí ètò báyìí. Àtúwà báyìí life báyìí ní ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀. Ọ̀dà máa sẹ́ndẹ̀ sí máa sẹ́ndẹ̀ ẹ ṣé gan ni mà. Máa sẹ́ndẹ̀. Thank you so much. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo èyí tẹ́ ń pè pé Koiki a máa ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́ torí iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe ó involve owó. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ní dójú ti iléeṣẹ́ torí iléeṣẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ máa tẹ̀síwájú ni. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá nídìí àkáǹtì mi ti náírà mi ẹ kàn sí mi ká fún yín. Ẹ bá wa fi síbẹ̀. Iṣẹ́ ta fi ṣe pọ̀. A dẹ̀ fẹ́ kówó dá dúró. What we want is Baba mi Samuel ni no, Tinubu is a scam and a self-center. Mr. Brown Akinola, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Jimmy Koya, Mokiyawa Mary Abang, wọ́n ní Northern Nigeria says no to tax reform, no to regional government, etc. How do we live together with this kind of diversity? Ìbéèrè tó dání màmá ìbéèrè. Mo kí ẹ Ògodo nationwide. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń wò mí láti Ogun state mi nìyẹn. But ẹ yẹ ká má máa ṣe ritual. Ọ̀nà tá máa fi rówó wà. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń ṣe ritual yẹn ọmọ yẹn. Ẹ endorse Yoruba nation officially. Ẹ support ẹ. Ẹ bá wa fọwọ́ kun. Ẹ bá wa sọ fáwọn tó ń bẹ ní polytechnic. Mo wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń bẹ ní Ondo state. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń bẹ ní Ọ̀ṣun state. Àwọn state kọ̀ọ̀kan yẹn nǹkan gidi ń bẹ níbẹ̀. Tá a bá gba Yoruba nation tó máa mú transformation tó máa mú ìdàgbàsókè. Mo kí ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń bẹ ní Ọ̀yọ́ state. State tó yẹ pé ó lè sink gbogbo ilẹ̀ Ìgbò. Ọ̀yọ́ state tó bá di gbogbo ilẹ̀ Ìgbò sínú ẹ̀ á tún máa béèrè pé ṣó ṣì kù ha kábíyè àwa ń jìyà inú Ọ̀yọ́ yẹn náà láti wá rí n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ìbàdàn ìjì ni àárọ̀ ìmọ́jú àti ṣe program níbẹ̀ owó jí mi ojú oorun lọ ti jí mi pé ọjà Arárọ̀mí market spare part ó ti jóná èmi ní terrorist attack ni but ibẹ̀ kọ́ la fẹ́ lọ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ torí gbogbo program ló ní it has its own message. The message this morning is, will Nigeria work and at what time? I am already in my 40. Don't think I be young man o. Èmi náà ti dàgbà. Àkọ́ ti dàgbà táwọn bàbá wa tó ti wà in their 80s, in their 90s. I am asking you in your 20s. Do you think that as you are 20 years old watching me from Nigeria, I love you all. You might not be happy with a platform like mine, but Koiki, shut up. Ìjáyà ó tójọ́ mẹ́ta, brother mi dáadáa kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ, kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun. Àwọn èèyàn náà wọ́n gbóhùn ẹ lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta, mo dẹ̀ wọ́n pé busy gan ni, kàn káàkiri gbogbo platform, Ọlọ́run bá ń dúró tiẹ̀. If you are in your 20s and you are not going to leave Nigeria, you want to remain in Nigeria, at what point is your expectation that Nigeria is going to work? And then below TikTok. I left TikTok because it's a biased system, but most of all man she only TikTok. Yeah, but there is no money making on TikTok. The money is on agriculture. Mr. Sunday Michael, one of my brother, your talk is true. We are working here in Oman like Jack. Ẹni tó wà ní Arab country, wọ́n ní fún níṣẹ́ lọ sí financial sector, kò sí bó ṣe lè brilliant tó, àfi tí àánú bá dé. Ó dẹ̀ rare. Because wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́ lọ sí sector yẹn because you are a foreigner. Irú àwọn bíbá nísìn ló ṣì wà lenient. You will see a Nigerian that is an MP. Ó máa difficult fún yàn ní Oman. Mo kí brother mi Bámidélé Sànyà. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ 20 years old, tẹ́ ń sọ pé Koiki, look, àwọn Tinubu àwọn tó dàgbà iná ló máa wá ṣèjọba tá bá dé Yorùbá nation, irọ́ ni o. Kódà èmi gan a máa sit back sẹ́yìn ni. Ẹni tó jàjàgbara báyìí kò nídìí láti náà fẹ́ lọ jẹ position kankan, orúkọ mi ẹ̀ nígbàgbé láéláé. Tá bá ti gba country, ẹ̀yin lẹ́ máa béèrè pé kí ni ká ṣe fún Koiki iná? Tó ó gbìyànjú. Ẹ̀yin lẹ́ máa ronú sí nǹkan tẹ́ máa ṣe fẹ́mi. Èèyàn kan pè mí láàárọ̀ ẹ̀, ó ní kó fún mi ní doctorate, mo ní kí ni mo fẹ́ fi ṣe. I am not joking, láti Nàìjíríà. Ó pè mí láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ pé àwọn oríṣẹ́ tí mò ń ṣe káwọn fún mi, mo ní look, àwọn kan ní London ní bíbá, wọ́n offer mi ní doctorate, mo reject ẹ̀, mo ní evidence ẹ̀. Kí ni mo fẹ́ fi ṣe? Tí o ṣe pé mi mo lọ kàwé fún, tọ́kọ̀ fi pé media à ń sọ títọ́ à ń pariwo lórí social media, mo ní I don't need that. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ ràn wá lọ́wọ́, account details mi lọ́tí fi síta yẹn. First Bank mi ṣì ń ṣiṣẹ́ o, but Opay náà ó ń lọ. PayPal, Zelle, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ send it through GoFundMe wa náà ó dà pé ó ṣì ń ṣiṣẹ́, but mo bẹ̀ yín the first 200, mo ń bẹ̀ yín ni. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wá ní kéékèèké náà, ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Kí lẹ sọ sir, Prince Adébọ̀wálé Julius, wọ́n ní one Nigeria is a zero, Koiki bá ń pariwo síta o. No future in Nigeria. Ó dà ń pè ń parọ́ sáà, ẹ bó kàn lè sọ pé Prince ń parọ́ ni. Bó ṣé bá ṣe ń jáde tá à ń sọ pé Nàìjíríà ò ṣiṣẹ́ yìí, ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ tẹ́ jẹ́ 20. Ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ tẹ́ jẹ́ 20 ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, àwa ti dàgbà. Àwa náà ti dàgbà 40. Gbogbo 20s mi ìlú yìí ni mo ti lò. 1998 mo wọ UK. Mo ṣe tán l'Abẹ́òkúta Grammar School ní 1995. Ọdún mẹ́ta péré ni mo lò Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo ìgbà tí mo lò Nàìjíríà tí mo fi dé ìlú yìí, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ. Kò gbọ́dọ̀ pè mí lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta kí n má dá lóhùn. Torí pé ó rí future tèmi ò rí. Mo bá mọ̀ sí mi jà, mo ní mo fẹ́ lọ sí Unilag. Tó bá jẹ́ pé mo ò pass JAMB, Koiki ni wá àwọ̀ Unilag. Owó ló máa jẹ kò ní jàgbàdo. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, èmi ò ní lọ sẹ́ni university. Bó bá jẹ́ pé mo ò gba cut off mark tí mo dẹ̀ wá Nàìjíríà, máa wọ Unilag. Owó ló máa jẹ kò ní jàgbàdo. Mọ̀ sí mi sọ pé no, capital no. Mo ń process ẹ lọ́wọ́. lọ jókòó tásìkò bá tó màá ròyìn fún ẹ bó ṣe máa gbéra bó ṣe máa wá sí bíbá èmi lọ ṣe interview ni ní Àbújá mo jókòó ni wọ́n interview mi ni kí mo fẹ́ lọ ṣe UK ìyẹn ṣe ta fi máa sọ lórí social media. ó gbọ́ mi yé in my 20s ni mo wọlé sí Louis now in my 40 mo lọ ṣe shopping fún inú ilé mi with 170,000 after 25 years. Bishop Adesina tẹ́ bá lè bá mi pè wọlé à ń sọ̀rọ̀ globalist lánàá Bishop àdúrà yín gbà kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ láíláí gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ gbé rúbà ṣubú èmi ò ní gbà fún yín o kò ń ṣe owó Yorùbá ni ìyẹn kọ́ ló matter personal business ni yes but I need láti rescue àwọn èèyàn wa. Tó bá mọ̀ pé rúbà ò ní ṣiṣẹ́ fún ẹ ìwọ náà create another financial sector gbé lọ fún bàbá Akíntóyè kọ́ vẹ́tẹ̀ kalẹ̀ gbá wọlé. Tó bá mọ̀ nípa agriculture Koiki báyìí la ṣe lè ṣe bọ̀ ṣé a lè ṣe agriculture bí kan ṣe lọ nínú Nàìjíríà yìí tí a ní enough ààbò látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn governors wa equip àmọ̀tẹ́kùn kọ́ wọn yàn sínú àmọ̀tẹ́kùn owó ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ àwọn governor yìí. Brother mi bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé Koiki kí la máa how do we escape this trap òun ni kí gbogbo wa endorse Yorùbá nation. Ìlú yìí ni mo ti celebrate 21st birthday mi ní 1999 èmi náà ti pẹ́ nílùú yìí. Ìbéèrè tí mo wá béèrè ni pé ìwọ tó ṣì ń sọ pé ọmọ 20 nìyẹn Koiki Nàìjíríà ṣì máa ní future ọmọ má jẹ́ ń tàn ẹ́ màmá tó bí èmi ti ń travel before ọkọ tó bí mi ní 1970 ó rí future yẹn ní 1990 ó sá kúrò Nàìjíríà 1990 ni mo sì mi ya dànù kúrò Nàìjíríà. Àwọn ọ̀yà tó ń gbé nothing less than $100,000 wọ́n ń gbé ní cash o wọ́n ń gbé ní kí ló máa ń pè kíní yẹn kíní kan tó máa fi move ó mọ̀ pé o lè máa gbé cash kiri nígbà yẹn but ó ní kíní kan mo sì máa comment ẹ̀ nísìn. So èyí tí wọ́n sọ ni pé àbá wúsájà àbá ibòjà àbá anybody jà àwa ara wa ni ká pera wa sí òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló jẹ wá lógún ǹjẹ́ Nàìjíríà máa work fẹ̀yìn ọ̀dọ́ ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ la fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ ní 2020 ṣe ní gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà yẹn ẹ fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ wọ́n ti jẹun sókè dirty December tó bá ráyè rí diaspora tó máa sponsor ẹ ọmọ ọlọ́ọ̀ ṣe fàájì ní dirty December but gbogbo yẹn ò lè work. Àìmọye diaspora tó ti délé nísìn tó fi wá jó dirty December èmi lọ́kọ oníyàwó ilé ayé láti bá but intan sọ ni pé ìtẹ̀síwájú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá traveller check kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ màmá dáadáa àwọn ilé ń gbé owó gidi lọ travel ni o mọ́mísí tèmi Hong Kong wọ́n lọ ṣeré ni wọ́n ná ṣeré ni nígbà tá a tẹ̀ sọ pé Nàìjíríà fẹ́ dá nìyẹn àṣẹ gbogbo táìmù yẹn àwọn olùṣímálà wọ́n sínkẹ̀ because if a country is making money and they inject owó yẹn padà sínú system yẹn that is what has collapsed Nigeria today. So brother mi tó ń bèrè pé Koiki ó dá báwo la ṣe fẹ́ escape trap yìí. The only way we can escape ìwọ tó gbọ́ Koiki tó gbọ́ Yèyé Dára tó gbọ́ Moluka Lady K Mass B Yorùbá World Media tó ń gbọ́ gbogbo ohun tá à ń sọ ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn kan lélẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ilé ayé wa pé báwo la ṣe fẹ́ dá padà kí a lè rí lé gbé torí tó bá dé stage kan ṣe ra àwàtà wà ní diaspora gbogbo ilé tẹ kọ́ sílé yẹn rí lé gbé o kò ń ṣèpè ṣe wá dẹ̀yìn tẹ wà nílé wọ́n máa squeeze yín globalist agenda tí wọn èmi àti bishop ń sọ lánàá ó sì jáde yọ ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ ní ìdajì program kejì táwọn ṣe lọ lélẹ̀ so mo kí bàbá mi Busari Kazeem. So to come back to the conversation, Tinubu might have a good agenda. Let's just leave it like that. Only good agenda. But àwọn tó jọ ń tayò yẹn wọ́n wo Tinubu wọ́n wo gbèsè tó ń gbé so President Tinubu so ìgbà tó ń sọ fún apẹ́ fẹ́ dìbò tó ń ṣe bí ẹni tó fẹ́ kú ta ṣàánú ìsìn ló wá fẹ́ fi ọmọ kọ wọ́n ti náà Yorùbá máa ń ní ọgbọ́n lórí ó dá àdúró díẹ̀ ṣe rí àwọn tó bá ní ideology burúkú wọ́n máa ní sùúrù kò ṣe tán ni. Mo wá ń béèrè pé tí Tinubu bá revive gbogbo Nàìjíríà kó straighten ẹ̀, ṣé tí president mi bá dé láti north ṣó máa continue the same in tí Tinubu ṣe lọ, even on the same political party? Ṣé mọ̀ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n kankan lọ́dọ̀ El-Rufai nísìnyí bá bá wèrè ní bọ̀bọ́ yẹn, El-Rufai tẹ̀ ń rí yẹn ó burú bí ṣọ̀pọ̀nà èṣù ẹ má kí n lo èṣù, the devil tó ń bẹ nínú El-Rufai òun ló lọ lọ́nkọ́ yẹn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé nísìnyí kò bá Tinubu ṣèjọba? Ṣé mọ̀ pé kò bá Tinubu ṣèjọba? Òun lẹ̀ ní bàbá wa Awùjalẹ̀ fún ní oyè. But what we are trying to say, because I have 15 minutes, 1 hour náà ni, mo kàn fẹ́ kí làákà ẹ̀kọ́ tó jọ́ mẹ́ta tá ti ṣe program nínú kitchen. Òun ni pé kí lọ́nà àbáyọ Koiki? Ẹjọ́ tẹ̀yìn gan rò ti pọ̀ jù, aláti kọ́kọ́ rojọ́ ni o. Torí ẹjọ́ la máa fi dáre àbí ẹjọ́ la máa fi sọ pé nǹkan báyìí ló ń ṣe wá. Because àwọn Yorùbá kan tí identify nǹkan tó ń ṣe wá, wọ́n ní Koiki ẹ shut up. Bí wọ́n náà fẹ́ jẹ́wọ́ lórí social media ni. Màmá wa wò pé lóòótọ́ mo fẹ́ jẹ́wọ́ lórí social media. Àwọn èèyàn ń jẹ́wọ́ lójoojúmọ́ lórí social media lọ́wọ́ àwọn YouTuber tó ń lo Lamborghini. Ó dà pé kọ́ọ̀lù kan fi wọlé. Ẹni tó ń pè yẹn ibà ilẹ̀ máa pèsè ẹ máa pèsè tẹ́ẹ̀bà ti lè pèsè bíbà ẹni tó bá fi bá wa dá sí ká tó máa lọ. Ṣe rí mo kí ẹ Masb ó pè mí lánàá mo wo TV mi mo lọ́wọ́ báyìí mo wo Masb èèyàn tí Ìgbòho ṣà máa bá ṣe ẹ lọ. Let's focus. Mo fẹ́ ka Prince sọ pé Koiki bá ń kalẹ̀ síta Julius Olajide, even it will get to a stage Nigeria passport wouldn't be recognized for any visa again, so the youth should wake up in time before it is too late. Mo ṣe rí ẹ̀yin youth mo love yín ẹ ṣé gan ni Koikimedia team travelers check. Wàláta olórí ẹbí nìyẹn, òun lólórí ẹbí gbogbo wa ní UK. Èèyàn ti Koiki nìyẹn, èèyàn ti Ìgbòho ṣà. Mokia Allen Conde. Only we are going to name you of one of our Osha. Allen Conde ọ̀rẹ́ mi dáadáa ní China. Kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn media as well. Tí Ọlọ́run ipò ní kidnappers has written us in my town. Warn everyone to desist from doing VG or else they will keep kidnapping. Ṣé ń gbọ́? Ẹ bá wa dárúkọ town yẹn tó bá possible sà. Wọ́n ní àwọn ajínigbé. When the Fulani invaded 2 of my brother's rice farm yesterday, deceased only 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks respectively. Did you hear that? Archie Amon will be back on the Star Radio. I want the Star Radio in here, my big brother. So what we are trying to explain is that nobody in the present Nigeria can rectify all the problems that have been forced on us. What we need to do, the driver that picked me up was from Ghana on the Uber on my way back this morning. And we're having the same discussion. And he said something that blew my head off. I asked him, how's the job going as an Uber driver? And he said to me that even an English is now being told to go to an English test. That was funny. Because it is only in the UK that if you want to get your British passport, you are told to go and do English tests. I am now asking, what about those of us that are from the colony, Commonwealth, Nigeria, Ghana, that we speak English as if we speak camp? Those English doesn't work here. Those English expired as you enter the UK. You would have to start a new English class in the UK. And the reason is because they do not accept the same English that we were told to speak and take away our own official language. Are you getting that point? A master person, ento kawe in Nigeria, at any toka, speak English. You get here, your English is invalid, co-valid. And you know that, especially those of you that have just arrived as students, you are told to go and do English test before university will accept you. That's not where we are going. Where we are going before the end of the program is that those in their 20, the male and the female, Nigerians, mostly Yorubas, what is the future that you think you would achieve in the next 20 years? Koiki, 20 years, Yeshiji. I said the same thing when I came here in 1998. If somebody said to me that in 25 years, we will still be here doing what we are doing, I would say no. Some of us have the plan to return back to Nigeria in 10 years after we came to this country. I am still here after 25 years. And that is not because there's no future in Nigeria, but where is the future? The future where the police harass you. The future where you don't have freedom of speech. The future where you talk to the president's son and they'll pick you up. Every woman talk benisi. One to report also the same Seyi Tinubu that stole money and bought $11 million house in St. John's Wood area. Remember, I was there. I went to video the house. The gate was locked. That property is $11 million. Niboni Seyi Tinubu ti rowo. Mo ki Yemi Fatoki. Brother mi dada, will not send the contribution. If you have not paid your own contribution, I understand there's Christmas, there's a lot of expenses, but am I a so that Kali rewo fi operate. Koda walata no ma sanwo tie. Mo ma gba wo lowo e. Bo se je olori o ti gbo ni se o ma sanwo. Because we need money to operate. Without money, I'll operate. Moki gbogbo ti amba eto lo. What we are saying before we end this program this morning, Mr. Akiton Sheguni, we can't invest in agriculture now. We are still in Nigeria. My experience last year is critical. That is one of the problems. When I came to Nigeria in 2015, teba lo àwọn videos mi, erin mo wọ seedless, mo wọnú boka kiri ni. We are looking for farm to invest. We wanted to do ofada rice. Baba en si wà láyé. We wanted to do ofada rice and bring it to the UK and repackage it and sell it because we know the importance of ofada rice. I am not talking about how many years ago now. Rishi. Yes, we still have people that are doing farmer there. But somebody is telling me that Koiki, in my hometown, 2 weeks ago, Fulani invaded what familiar and one Ilora. Ilora town is a neighborhood town to Oyo Alaafin here in Oyo State. Usman Wahab, good morning. Moke must be. How can you run a farm and do rice? Okay, rice ni mo gbe sabe bi bai. Mo bo. This is one of the most bro. This is rice. In 10 years ago, or almost 15 years ago, I faced share of father rice. Láti máa gbé wá sí UK. Mo fẹ́ partner pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà nílé. My job will just to help them with the marketing. Èmi náà make owó, àwọn náà make owó. 15 years down the line, today, we have not been able to achieve that. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ń pè mí pé Koiki, a lè ṣe business nílé. Yes. But how can you run a business where people buy hectares of land for agriculture and one person run their cows because those cows are in control of some of our kings? Investing in Nigeria is like fetching water into the basket. This is a rice. Rice anything. Producer. This rice is packaged here, but I know it's a lie. It looks a lot basmati. The packaging is nice is because it is packaged here, but the large quantity of it is coming from one country. Especially in the UK. In bulk. Because what they seal it, you know what? What you need, factory, factory. I mean, not if I Burugoni Louis. To ban wo to de fi jale o se o je ni UK gba ti mo de be báyìí machine ni akọ ti so quantity to ma won akọ lọ sí the next kini ni asile ìyẹn ló ṣe dàbí branding báyìí rice ten rí o lè jẹ́ bí kan lọ ti ruwa wọ́n kọ packaging gbogbo ilé tó kù yìí And packaging anyway, because the UK 5 kg lele anything, the UK wants to see the code so that if there's a problem, they can trace it back. They want to know other things. Gbogbo eléyìí nísìn, I want to prepare baggy, gbogbo write up yìí. This is what we are lacking in Nigeria for the last 64 years. I showed you a video yesterday. How many of you saw the video? 1956 ni wọ́n dá iléeṣẹ́ yẹn sílẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ ṣì yẹn exist títí di wákàtí. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà. So what I'm trying to say is that ẹ ṣe gan-an ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bẹ ní ìlú Ìlọ́ra, wọ́n ní àwọn Fúlàní yọwọ́ lẹ́nu. Mo bẹ̀ Ṣèyí Mákindé, our governor. You are still our governor until the disintegration of Nigeria. What are you doing, including all the other states, to support agriculture? And agriculture without security is zero, is a waste of time. And as we end this program, I want you to think about it, that ṣé Koiki ni ẹ̀ ń bájà ni àbí ntí Koiki sọ lẹ̀ ń bájà, èwo lẹ̀ ń bájà ní méjèèjì? Because èmi ò mọ̀ tẹ́mi sọ nísìn tẹ́ fi ń bá wa jà. What we are saying is that the current state of things in Nigeria failed you and me. Many diaspora would have invested in Nigeria. Those that invested, they run into losses. Yaminke Sunodu. Bishop Adeshinoni, please send your OPay account. Eshigoni Bishop. Mo bẹ̀yẹn ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. Ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́. Look, you have the time to enjoy, have sex, smoke, drink, but ìyẹn nìkan kọ́ ni future. Look, I'm serious now. When you are in your old age, you will then understand. Gbogbo àwọn ìyá tẹ́ ń rí tẹ́ ń rò pé wọ́n níṣẹ́ yẹn. Àwọn ìyá yẹn wọ́n sọ fún wọn pé future wà ní Nàìjíríà. Àwọn grandma, àwọn granddad tẹ́ ń rí yẹn tí wọ́n wà ní Nàìjíríà tọ́dẹ̀ wà lábroad. Wọ́n sọ fún àwọn náà, mo kí bàbá mi Adéyẹmí Ọlárẹ̀wájú. Àwọn pastor tí ó ń sòtítọ́ làwọn eléyìí. Tó ti má dárúkọ àwọn pastor mi nìsín kan má ní òtútù bẹ̀rẹ̀ Kóìkì láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Ó ṣe jẹ́ pastor tiwa ló máa ń dárúkọ ní gbogbo gbà. So what I'm trying to say, tí Ọlọ́run ni Paul ni, our father here is not helping us as well. My darling, with the enemies of your people, can you imagine? Those fathers doesn't care. Mo kí ìyá wa Florence Adeoye. Many of those that we look as leaders, mo dọ̀bálẹ̀ mo bẹ̀ bàbá Adébánjọ pé kó jẹ́ ká ṣe fídíò pé endorse Yorùbá Nation, wọ́n ní àwọn ò lè ṣe. Wọ́n ní àwọn àti bàbá Buhari làwọn jọ ṣe. Ìyẹn ò mátà mọ́ nísìn. We need you, our leaders. Lóòótọ́, wọ́n fún wa ní support ní back, but in the public, wọ́n fún wa ní support, but officially, wọ́n náà wọ́n endorse Yorùbá Nation, wọ́n ní restructure làwọn fẹ́. I am now asking everyone as we end the program, because kò gbọ́dọ̀ ju 1 hour lọ, because I have other engagement today. Yoruba land is a beautiful place that can bring trillions of dollars into the environment. Àwọn kan wà nínú platform yìí tó wà Nàìjíríà, wọ́n mọ button tó lè tẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn níta láti fi gbé investment wá sínú ilé. Bàbá kan pè mí nígbà tí technology phone tó jáde tí kò tí popular báyìí, wọ́n náà wọ́n gbé project yẹn pẹ̀lú àwọn kan wá sí Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo yín ti mọ̀ tó end up nothing. Do you know how many people that are trying to, because we always see Nigeria as our second home, and we see UK as we see Nigeria as our first home, and we see UK as our second home. Reason why most of us did not invest enough in this country. That is the biggest mistake that some of us, we didn't know. It must have been a mistake. Majority of Nigerians did not invest where they were living. We pumped all our investment back home in the hope that it's a big market. The numbers, 200 million. To bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ta pop-off ní sì wá dolówó. Irọ́ ni o. Tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ta àgbàdo wá dolówó. Ọmọ àgbàdo yẹn, ibo ló ti máa wá? Inú oko. Ǹjẹ́ Fúlàní jẹ́ kẹ́ ṣoko mọ́? All these are conflicts, all different textures. Àgbàdo ló fi ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. The processing. Enter our Instagram. I say thank you so much because I'm at end program anyway. Muki, because I'm at end in 22 seconds. As we leave this morning, just go back and reflect pé ṣé in táwọn tó ń béèrè Yorùbá nation yìí ṣé kò make sense ṣá? We have tried Nigeria. It has failed every one of us, including those of us at home and those of us in the diaspora. And I beg you again, think about a future in Yoruba and let us exit Nigeria without a war. We need the millions of Nigerians that are Yoruba to switch from being Nigeria to Yoruba, and that will make Babakitoye and our job the most easiest task in 2025. We might be back again. For a few days, back to back here, I'm having catch up. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ gbọ́ wa láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ èyí tẹ́ tún máa tún gbọ́ Koiki òtútù jáde ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bó ṣe ń ṣe wá lára làwọn náà ṣe ń jáde. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà èyí tá a bá ń sọ tí kò bá tẹ́ yín lọ́rùn ẹ má bínú àbí ẹ má bínú sí wa. Ẹ gbà pé wọn ọmọdé ò lè jẹ̀kọ kó má ra lọ́wọ́. Tá bá délẹ̀ lérí à resolve gbogbo differences wa, but why tá bá ṣe ń báṣẹ́ lọ a máa sọ̀kò sí different places. A bẹ lòmí lára ọmọ yóò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ alẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọmọ tó bí dáadáa làwa ọ̀dẹ̀ bí dáadáa ọ̀bẹ̀bẹ̀ gbogbo wa dọ́dẹ̀ bí bẹ̀rẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá àtẹni tó bí ní tálákà ni o àtẹni tó bí lólówó ni o gbogbo wa ni wọ́n bí dáadáa. Situation Nigeria òun ló sọ wá dé bá ṣe dé. And on that note mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ǹkan sí o. Adélẹ̀ lérí nígbà wo Adélẹ̀ lérí láìpẹ́ láì jìnà mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ǹkan sí. Badamasi Ismaila, only Yoruba nation is the answer. Thank you, Koikimedia. Bye for now.